Hello, everybody. So we have hopefully the notifications, they look like they're going out. There was a little bit of human error there. Yeah, I know. I make those mistakes too. That evidently I had advertised like on the thumbnail 6 p.m. and my original post said 6 p.m. And then I went back and somehow I got it at 4 p.m. So I apologize for any confusion there was about that. And I appreciate all of you that are popping on now. I want to say thank you to anyone who is currently watching the replay. We love having you here, even in the replay. So thank you for coming. We'll just say a quick hello to the people in the room. Looks like we have Stephanie. Thank you for coming today. Rena, thank you so much. It's always good to have you here. Samantha, hope you guys are all doing well today. I am so excited. Elaine, thanks for coming in. I'm glad you guys made it. Make sure you give me that thumbs up because I made that huge goof and got the whole time thing mixed up and everything. So if you want to share it out and give that thumbs up, that way people know I am here. We are doing the live today and we are going to have our guest. And so help me out if you can with that today. Hello, Ocean Soul. Shalom. It is nearly sunset here. We've got, with the time change, a little extra time. So that is so lovely. But I guess we are just on a Wednesday night. So I'm good to go there anyway. Do I have carpal tunnel? Yes. How do you know? Do I hold my hands weird? I need to know this. Thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate it, Stephanie, so much. Where am I from? Northeast Kansas. So we are getting blown away today. Today is a beautiful sunny day, but it is super windy and it's not super cold. So that's good. That's good. Okay, so without further ado, I would like to bring in my guest today. This is Gail from Gail's Southern Living. She actually has two channels. She has another one where she does crafting and couponing. And a little bit about how I met Gail is that we were in the Last Chance Cook-Off together, I believe. It's the first one we were together. And she introduced me to open collaborations and what that was about. And she was so kind to reach out and share with me lingo and all kinds of great stuff. So last week we got to meet Tony, who taught me about collaborations and invited me in. And this week we're bringing in my good friend Gail, and she's going to talk to us a little bit about her passion that she's doing. But first, Gail, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got started on YouTube, why, and why do you have more than one channel? Just a little about who you are first.
Okay. I got a work injury on my neck and back at the school I was working at. So I was spending a lot of time at home, and I was going on to the plant paradox diet, which I need to get myself back on that. And I wanted to have chickens in my backyard to have healthier eggs because I'm in a small city, not a rural area. If I got that right. Anyway. So I started looking up videos for Becky's Homestead, and that got me on to homestead testing.
Oh,
and
yes,
so I was trying to learn about chickens. And then after watching Homestead Tessie for a long time, I was like, you know what? If she can do it, I can do it. And so we had went on a trip, and when I came back from the trip, I was thinking about it on the way, but I didn't tell them. I was just considering it in my mind first. And I thought they're just going to laugh at me, my family, and say I'm crazy. But everybody was very supportive. The husband, the stepdaughters, family, mom, everybody was really supportive. So I just continue doing it. I'm going on 3 years on YouTube. And at first I used to do couponing on my channel, but I felt like the men, the homesteaders type men were just tolerating the couponing videos, and I wanted to have it where it was separate. But then I do go through phases, so I decided to pair the crafts and coupons together, and that way, whatever phase I'm going through, I'll do that. And that way I would have enough content for that channel. But this is my main channel.
Yeah.
And, so mostly I do cooking and gardening, chickens, and a little bit of prepping and just, family life type stuff.
That's
That's what I
great. I
have.
love it.
I
To
did see
answer
that
a
you wanted me to
question,
tell my story about what happened with my sister, so I'm
yes,
prepared
we'll get
to.
to that. I do want to hear all about that, and we want to share about that. Samantha, yes, I still have carpal tunnel. I didn't have surgery or anything. I don't do a lot of crocheting, and actually, I've got my mod in the house, so I'm good to go. But thank you for the offer. Hello, Bev, and hello, Littlefoot Ranch. Thank you for coming in. So this is Gail here, and she told us how she has the 2 channels, which I like both of them. I like to coupon too, and I like to do crafting. Um, that was one of the things we did. It was I feel like it was in the fall, like Fall Fest or fall.
Yeah, when you figured out I had 2 channels.
No, there was some kind of open collaboration, and you had to just do a little snippet, and then we gave away a prize at the end. I don't
Yeah,
remember what that was called, Fall Fest
the
or
Fall
something.
Fest 22 giveaway.
Yes. Yes. So
Yeah,
that's how I kind of got into open collaborations. And so that was a lot of fun too.
yeah, and we're
So
gonna do it.
Samantha, let's
I'm
just
gonna do it again this year too.
well, yeah, okay. Well, there you go, friends. If you're wanting to find a fun way to get into YouTube, that was a fun way for me to get into collabs. So let's go ahead and tell us about I'll get banners ready as you talk about them. Go ahead and tell me about what your mission is now and why you got it started, and tell us the story of your sister. I'm just going to let you take over.
The background story is that my sister moved to Colorado, and we lost contact with her. And last October, we got a phone call, or my mom got a phone call um, that my sister had been hit by a car.
Ugh.
And so she told me, and we kind of worried, we kind of suspected she could have possibly been on drugs, but we had no proof, and we just had no contact with her. So anyway, we drove up to Colorado, and at that point she was brain dead. She had some really extensive injuries, so even if she had not woke up, it would have taken her a long time to rehabilitate after all that. But I guess when she fell back on her head, she hit something back there, and they had done some kind of test. You could see where they did something right here. And so they found out she was brain dead. But she had been, we found out when we found out she passed away, we found out that she was homeless. And she had been in a drug rehabilitation place about 2 years before that. So we're guessing she was homeless for about 2 years. And we talked to she was living in a tent, but there was a shelter there. And it was a place where she could go and eat.
Hi, Baldwin Farm.
What's that?
I was just saying hi to everyone as they come in.
Yeah, if you need to stop me once in a while, just go right ahead. My phone's trying to ring on me. Okay. So, so we would have helped her if we would have known.
Sure.
I have a little bit of guilt in the background because the last thing we had was a fight.
Oh.
So
So
I have
hard.
that. But I totally would have helped her if I would have known. So she died on October 20th, the day after her birthday. And, or that's when she got hit. So we started the homeless ministry, not an official registered, but just me and my mom go out. We take bags of toiletries and non-perishable foods to the homeless, and we've went out 3 times, and we've received some donations in real life people and on YouTube, both. So, and that's why I begin to be so passionate about it, because it's easy to judge them, but now I don't think of it the same way. I think of it as I'm helping someone else's son or daughter or mother or cousin or brother or friend. And I'm sure somebody helped my sister out there. So, and I live in a small city, like 5,000 people, but my mom lives in a bigger city. And so we go there and we give out the bags there. So,
And see, around here, I don't see a lot of it. We have to go several hours to a bigger city because I'm very rural. And so this stuff is not something I see on a daily basis. So I'm not used to it. And so I never really know how to approach people or you never know, is it real? Sometimes you have people who are not, that are trying to just get money. How
yeah.
have you found a way to know that you're really helping someone who truly needs it?
I've had a few awkward conversations. I don't think they like it if you directly ask them if they're homeless. I already tried and failed in that way. I got to where now I look for the clues. They have a backpack on them, a bedroll sometimes. You can look at their shoes or the condition of their coat. They also have darker skin because they're out in the sun all the time. So I've just gotten to kind of tell. And even the women wear hats. So, like, if they're laying their head down, you think it's a guy, but they pull their head up and it's a girl. She just doesn't have anything to do her hair with. So, we thought toiletries was a really good idea. So, we've got the shampoo and the hairbrush and all that stuff. We've got bags made up for men and for women. And then we do food as well. So, this is one that's for a guy.
Before you go to that, through that bag, because it would be kind of nice for you to show us what you put in those bags.
Okay.
I think we had a couple more people come in, and I want to try to say hello to everyone.
Okay.
Our new land is in. I think I said hello to Littlefoot Ranch. Simply Jan, I think I said hello to you and Bev, and I know I said hi to Tony and Stephanie. I'm not sure if I got a hello to you. So thank you everybody for being here. If you have any questions for our guest, Gail, about what she's doing and just questions in general about homelessness, then go ahead and put it in the chat and I will try to bring it up and I'll get that up there so she can answer for you.
That would be great because I don't have because I'm on my phone, I don't have the ability to see the chat. So if you'll let me know on that.
So you want to kind of show us a little bit about what you put in these bags?
Sure. This one here is made up for a man. And inside this bag, I have some flushable wipes. And we put that, of course, male and female. We do socks. We do a pair of socks. And the homeless people prefer black socks because they said it shows dirt less. Because I watched a lot of YouTube videos. And for the guys, I do a comb. But for the girls, I do a hairbrush. Because that's what my husband uses. Mm-hmm. And then I have a little bag of Q-tips. And I bought one of the donations I bought on Amazon 100 toothbrushes for $20.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I'm very thrifty. And men's deodorant. And I'm a big time bargain shopper. And I had bought these 3 packs of men's things that they had one time. So I pulled the box apart. And so it's like men's body spray. They like this kind of stuff. And actually, one of the people actually pulled it out and was spraying himself all over.
Oh, that probably made you feel really good that it was being used right away.
Right away. Like we were still sitting there in the car and the guy pulled it out and was spraying it. So it's like, ooh, a bath. Anyway, yes. Men's razor. And I like to put something like entertainment in there. So for the guys, I put a deck of playing cards.
Nice.
I figure if they have a friend, they can play cards together. Or if not, they could sit and play solitaire or try to do card tricks or whatever.
Yeah.
And shampoo. We used to do the bigger ones, but we wanted to kind of keep the weight down because we didn't want the bags to get too heavy for them. So we decided to start doing this.
Yeah.
And then I got this really big
You
sale
get
at
more
Dollar
people that
Tree.
way too. You could probably spread it out.
Dollar Tree had their toothpaste for 25 cents.
Nice.
So I took
Wow.
them out of the
Bargain.
boxes and I have them stored. And I have to have a storage place now, a bar of soap. These actually come in 3 packs at Dollar Tree. I'm very thrifty. And
Used to be when I
hand
couponed,
sanitizer.
you could get like all this kind of stuff on a good deal. I don't know if that's a thing anymore, but I was always getting free toothbrushes and toothpaste.
Yeah. Yeah, and you wouldn't think about it, but there's so many of those things that you actually have at your house that you're not using, or maybe somebody gave them to you in a gift and you're allergic or whatever. We put that stuff in there too, and mother-in-law gave me some stuff that she was allergic to, and of course that's stuff they could use. So that's the bag for the men, and then as a general. And the bags are a little bit different every time we do it, depending on how much money we have. My church donated a New Testament Bible,
Oh, nice.
and this is the general bag. Just the Walmart 99-cent bags that they have. I
Uh-huh.
like to do backpacks if I have them, and then we always try to incorporate some kind of a light. And this is just the one from Walmart, and it's pretty bright.
I'm going to stop you
Because
for a
we're
second. We
thinking,
have a really great comment I want to share
okay.
from Grace and Fire. She said, collect those toothbrushes, dental floss, and toothpaste when you go to the dentist. A lot of times we don't always use those little sample ones, or we have something we already want, but instead of not taking it, you could take it and share it with them. That's a great idea.
Yeah, that's a great idea. There's a lot of stuff that, extras you have, like little nail kits and stuff. Because one thing we noticed about my sister when she was laying there when we were in the hospital is that her nails were really dirty. And, but she actually had makeup. Can you believe it? Makeup. So, my mom actually took some bags and made up makeup, and she's going to start asking people if there's any specific needs they have. And there might be some that want to wear makeup because maybe they don't feel too good about themselves. Who knows? So
Yeah.
we do a little bag of plastic silverware.
Oh, see, that's another thing I wouldn't have probably thought of either.
Yeah, and I did actually talk to a homeless man in my mom's town for about 30 minutes, and one thing he said is a lot of the convenience stores will let them go in and heat things up. So ramen noodles is something you can give them, and he said coffee cups.
Oh, yeah.
So I got this, and then let's see. Oh, I always try to put a wash rag in there for them, and a journal. They could draw or write a letter to their family, and I would like to put a envelope with a stamp in there too, hoping maybe they'll try to contact a family member.
I love that idea. I really love
So that's
that
kind of
idea.
the basic stuff that we put in there, and then
We had, evidently Mennonite Farmhouse may be in here. We may have missed that, but we have another great question. Gail, are you with us? Can you hear me? I don't know if she froze or I froze. Evidently, I missed a question. Can someone tell me if they hear me? Because I'm not sure if it's me with the wind out here or if it is Gail. Can someone just say hello? Hi, Jamie. Can you hear me? Okay, I'm not frozen. Thank you very much. So we'll see then. It must be something on her end. I will take her out for just a little bit. And when she comes back in, I'll bring her back. Thank you, Bev. Thank you, Homestead in the Wood D. Hey, I don't think I got to say hello to you. So thank you, Tony, for bringing this up. I totally missed this question. Asked, how do you handle children that are homeless? I don't know how she does that, but I can tell you, pardon me, there is a young girl who has been doing this type of work in our area in a close town, and they also have to travel a few hours away to be able to do their mission. And it's called McKinley's Mission, and it's a little girl who did this all on her own. and she takes donations all year round, and people will here we have Gail back. People will donate to her, and she will make these little bags, and she will buy in bulk. Many times people will donate to her, and it'll be just a little tote bag, and she'll put like a stuffed animal in there, and then some of the toiletry things, candies and snacks, and she has them set for boys and for girls. So Gail, while you were out there for a minute, we had a question that said, how do you handle children that are homeless? And I just was telling them about a local mission a little girl around here does. I mean, she's like 9 years old when she started this. She may have been actually 6 when she started, 9 now. But anyway, she makes little bags and takes at least once a year to the children with coloring books and things like that. Have you run into children, and how do you handle that, Gail?
I have not ran into any children. A lot of what I'm running into is elderly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a lot of people 50 and above, which makes me very sad that we're not taking care of our elderly, because it's in the Bible that you're supposed to take care of your own family and grandparents. You're supposed to take care of your family. It's, it's right there. We're supposed to take care of our family. That just makes me so sad. But I'm seeing a little bit of mental illness. I haven't seen anybody that appears to be on drugs or anything. One older lady got kicked out from her daughter and is homeless. That one made me very sad.
That would be sad.
And there was a lady we ran into that was living in a halfway house. So
I think the thing we probably need to remember is that we don't know the whole story. We don't know why the family kicked them out, what they may have done. We don't know what caused them to be homeless and why they didn't reach out to family for help. Because like with you, like you said, had you known, it hurts you that you didn't know your sister was in that situation. Gail may have frozen again on us. But yeah, we just have to remember that. I'm going to take this down till I see her moving again. We don't know the full story. We're not there, but what we can try to do is, here she's back again. We can try to just have an open hand and an open heart when we can, and try to help them however we can, while protecting ourselves. Because like she said, sometimes depending on the area you go to, there could be mental illness and drugs, and you certainly don't want to, get stabbed with a needle or something.
We're not visiting camps. We actually have a round that we go on right by my mom's house. There's a Walmart, and across the street from that is a really big highway kind of street. There's an Allsup's there where the people come in on the buses, and that's where we found the old lady that was homeless. And she's actually one of the pictures that I have. My mom took the picture while I was talking to the lady, and she was in the car, so the lady didn't see her take the picture. But we go to the library. There's a stone side of the library, and there's usually about 4 or 5 men sitting there that are homeless. And last time we went, there was 4, and one of them was actually sleeping. So I just said, I'm going to leave you something, and I just left it next to him. And then there was 2 guys over here, another guy over here by himself. And then we go to, there's a Christian ministry, and there's a Salvation Army, and we even found one lady at a Dunkin' Donuts. She was my mom was driving that day, and I said, Mom, right there. So she pulled over into the donut shop, and there was a lady sitting there with her dog and her backpack, and you could tell her coat was kind of tattered, and I had a really good backpack that was just full of all kinds of stuff, and I handed her that. So
Since you can't see the comments, we have another question for you. And I had just talked about this question before you came in, Glenda, but we'll go back to it because it is something that weighs heavy on all of our hearts for sure. Especially when I am in the city and people are on the corner with signs. I am always super cautious. But her question is, this is going to be harsh, but I have a question. How do you know if someone is truly homeless? I want to help, but a lot of bad actors have made the news here. I want to help those who are. And she was telling us a little bit about the things that she has noticed. I'll let you go ahead and say that again, Gail.
So the signs that I have noticed is they're carrying a backpack. They got a backpack on them. They could have a bedroll. If they have a dog on a leash and a backpack, of course, they have darker skin because they've been out in the sun all day. My sister actually had some pretty tan skin, and their shoes and their jacket, you can tell. You can tell by their clothes. You can tell that they don't look like they're clean. And they always say, look at their shoes. But yeah, there are signs. You get used to the signs. And so while you brought up that, it reminds me of something that happened. Well, we got my sister's personal effects from the cops. And inside of her backpack, there was the sign. You know the sign?
Mm-hmm.
My sister had that sign. So before you judge the sign, realize that could be somebody's sister or mom or brother or somebody that was like my sister originally. When she very first moved away from Texas, her boyfriend that she was living with for 15 years kicked her out and moved another girl in about a week later. So she was kicked. So that was the beginning of everything that happened to her. Yes, of course, she should not have been living with him and not being married. Okay, that's true, of course, but still, for to be with somebody 15 years and then, so that's kind of where it all started for her. Although
she was out with nothing.
Yes.
Probably too prideful to ask for help.
And I would have helped her if she would have called me or wrote me or something.
Suburban Hillbilly, I don't think I said hello to you when you came in. She says, Grace and Fire, that's not harsh. Offer them food. If they refuse, make your own decision. And Glenda says, thank you. She appreciates that information. It is hard because it does work on your heartstrings. And I know that the little girl that I was telling everyone about why you were frozen there for a little bit is I think they actually do go to a building of some sort. I don't know if it's a church or some sort of place where they like maybe serve the homeless meals, because like do they call them panhandlers? Am I saying this correctly? The people who are not really homeless that are faking it. Is that what they're called? If I'm saying it wrong, someone in the chat correct me on what it's called. But I've also
usually they have stuff with them. It's going to be really rare for them not to have things with them. The only way they could do that is if they're like a husband and wife, and one of them stays at the camp and watches stuff while the other one goes out and does it. So that's really, most of the time they're going to have their belongings with them. And if I have the bag with me, I will give them the bag. If I don't have the bag, I will give them money. And I'm not worried about giving them money and them using it wrong, because my heart is good. It doesn't matter what they do with it, because I did it so they could buy food.
Yeah.
You know, or whatever they need, a tent, a blanket, a pillow. You know, I did it with good intentions. What they do with it is on their conscience.
That's right.
Not mine. And before we go out, we always pray that God puts the right person in our path, the person who really needs it. So that lady standing on the street with the sign, I handed her a bag too, just like everybody else, because my sister was that girl with the sign. So it's easy to judge the sign, but that was my sister. That was my sister that thought she was all alone in the world, who had nothing. You know, so that's why it becomes so passionate to you, because it's like, that was my sister right there on the side, on the street.
This is first of all, I just want to stop for a second to say thank you. I can't imagine how emotional this is right now for you to share this with everyone. I just want to cry with you right now, and I wish I could reach over and give you a hug. I'm a hugger,
Thank
and if
you.
I could, Gail, I'm trying to hold back the tears
Thank you.
myself, and I would squeeze you and hug you because that's just who I
Yeah.
am.
It took me a
But
long time to decide to share the
yeah,
story.
it would
Um,
be hard, I'm
and
sure.
I just kept thinking about it, and I'm like, I need to explain my behavior, because I know parts of things have changed about me. I stopped doing lives for a while. I wouldn't even go on camera and show my face for a long time. It just took a really long time to get over it, because, like I said, the very last thing we had was a fight. And so that's what I remember, you
Yeah,
know? So,
yeah.
and these are her bracelets.
Oh, that's so sweet that you have that. You're getting lots of amen, Gail's, hugs, Gail. Thank you for the information. Lots of positive feedback here that you'll have to go watch back on the
Yeah,
replay
we'll
since
watch
you
that
can't see.
replay.
There was someone that said offer them work and decide from their answer, and I'm going to say yes and no on that one. If you have work that you can give truly and you're comfortable with that, absolutely. I'm not going to tell you not to, but I'm also going to caution you not to do that for two reasons. One is if you don't really have the work and you're offering them work, then you just broke their heart, because if they're willing and they want to, you just broke their heart. But you don't know that person. And if you bring them to, say, your home, you need to be careful, because if they are on drugs and they know where you live, they could break into your house and things. But
I have
if,
no intention of bringing anyone to my house.
yeah,
I'm going to talk to them. I'm going to give them something, and I'm going to pray for them. I'm
yeah.
going to ask their name so I can pray for them later. But no, I'm not. I mean, as passionate as I am, and as much as I want to help them, I'm not going to bring them home with me.
Suburban
So,
Hillbilly also said, it was odd that you said that. One of her favorite hymns is "I love to tell the story." I like that song. I like that song too. And yes, it is a security risk. So I would caution anyone that if they do offer work, that it not be, if you want to say something like, you would pay them to clean up a park or something like that, that would be the kind of thing that if you really felt like it would, because I can understand it from another. I tend to see things at so many different angles, and I could see someone who was in down and out, and they want to work for money. Like if they say we'll work for food or something, and they, because for a sense of pride for them, they want to have work, find work that would be safe, like, I'm going to give you this money and maybe you would go pick up the trash that's over there at that children's park or something like that. Maybe would be a good idea. I don't know. Because
okay.
I could see someone like myself, if I was down and out, I would probably prefer to work for something than not,
Yeah.
if I had the ability to do so. But
I'm so I feel so blessed that I've never really came close to that. But of course, I would start with family first.
yeah.
Mom, brother, sister, some kind of family. I would start with family first if I was having a trouble. But she felt like she was, because of her being in and out of drug problems, she felt like she wasn't loved. But there were no indications at all that she was currently doing drugs, alcohol, or even smoking. There was no indication of any of that. And we actually talked to one of her friends, who said she was reading her Bible for hours at a time, and she was planning to come back to our hometown here in Texas. So
Oh,
it was good to hear some of that kind of stuff, that she did have intentions to try to get herself back right where she could come back. But at one time, she was the perfect wife, mother, and housekeeper, you know, decorator, little artist.
it could happen
Um,
to any of us.
Yes.
Yeah. So, trying to think of maybe some other questions, or is there any more things that you feel that on your heart that you want to share? Like, I love that your church was donating things. Have you, you're just now
No,
getting
actually,
this started.
well, my as far as my church goes, they've donated the Bibles.
Mm-hmm.
I got $100 anonymous donation on YouTube. My sister-in-law donated backpacks. My friend that goes to church with me donated a bunch of toiletries. My mother-in-law donated wash rags and gloves and things like that. So just donations like that we've gotten so far. But I
That's
did
great.
decide to make up a Amazon wish list
Oh,
so people could go and pick out things
let's
off of
see.
there,
That's this
or put it on PayPal
here.
as well.
And I'm going to try to, oops. Okay, guys, it won't let me do it. I have to copy it and then add it on. I'm going to try to add this to the chat also.
Right now, we're trying to go out
Yeah.
every other month.
Oh, that's another one. How often, yeah, are you going out?
Yeah, we're because we're doing it mostly out of our own pocket right now, but we do have a few donations.
Hey,
Um,
Leanne.
but obviously, if we got some donations, we could go out maybe monthly. That would be nice. But we want to go out
Your
before
family life.
Easter, so that's our intention is to go out again before Easter.
Oh, that would be nice. Will you do anything special in those versus
Uh,
what you
no.
normally do?
Let me go grab a visual real quick.
Okay. And while you do that, while she does that, I will try to also put on, she also is taking PayPal, which I have to take it out to be able to copy and paste it, to make these bags. Try to put that in the chat for you. I just want to share this information with all of you, not to in any way make you feel that you are guilted into donating to her. That is not what she's asking. I'm just putting this out there for you if you want to. Like, if your heart has been telling you that you want to do something like this, I'm just trying to put the information there. Thank you, Rena, for coming in. She said, sorry, this is a sore subject for me. I'm more than happy to help someone, but I want to know they are really in need. I've been taken big a few times, and it does. We do get scammed, but usually if you want to donate and know for sure and feel comfortable, I would say go to a church or some sort of like um, a place where they serve the hot food meals,
Yeah.
usually those people, I mean, if they really need a meal, they're going to go get a meal. And so you could always donate to something like that where organizations are using it. And I would suggest a church because if you I don't know, like the Salvation Army around here is really, really good. And so I really, it's a great program. So maybe that would be another way that you could look if you're wanting to help and donate. And then she also said that you could mail gift cards if you're wanting to help her with her mission. And
Yeah.
by all means, like I said, I'm not putting this out there for anyone to feel like they have to donate to Gail. But I'm just putting it there if you want to. So anyway, there's the information. All right, Gail, show us what you got.
It's like I bought the little Ziploc bags at Dollar Tree with the little bunnies on them, and I put a little box of Smarties and some suckers and little candies in there for Easter. And I made up 12 of these because I usually do 6 bags and Mom does 6 bags, so we do about 12 every time. And I usually do 3 for women and 3 for men.
Okay, I'm going to stop you for a second. Glenda was saying it won't won't let me mail it to Gail through Amazon. So
Oh,
maybe if there's no address on Amazon, so maybe Gail can go and double check your
yeah.
Amazon
Yeah, with Amazon, it
posting.
should mail it directly to my house because Amazon is set up to come to my house.
Okay, well, she says
But
it
I'll have
says
to
no
double check
address.
that.
So um, if
Maybe
you,
I put view only and not view and change or something.
yeah, maybe
Maybe
I
I
got
did
the
that.
wrong link from you
Yeah, maybe.
on what to
Possibly.
do. But I tell you what, I did put her address up there, and I'll get it out again. Um, she gave me her address if anyone wanted to send like a gift card. Because maybe you got some for Christmas and you don't know that you're going to use it.
And I
You
make
could donate
videos
it to
and I received
her.
a donation. So to show
So there's
people what
her
I said.
address, and then I'm going to try to put it here in the comments too.
So
Hey, I
tell
did
me
Renee come in? Hello, Renee.
tell me if you want to be anonymous or if it's okay to say your name in the video. So that way I can respect your wishes on that.
I'll have you repeat that from the beginning again because I was talking, I think, over you while I was trying to get this information out.
I was going to say I always make videos of the donations. So, but just let me know if you want to be anonymous or if it's okay to mention your name or channel name in the video.
So if you want to know what she's doing and if what she's donating is changing, you can just follow her channel, Gail Southern Living, and she'll be showing you that. Because I was going to also ask you, do you ever put food things in there like snacks, like
Yes,
crackers?
I do have that stuff too. Inside the black bag is the food bag, the general bag, right? Is this one. And then the smaller one is the toiletries. So I'll put the food in this bag and then I'll put the toiletries in when I find out if it's a man or a woman. And there will already be food in there. And I'm going to do canned soup that has a pull top, ramen noodles, Vienna sausages when they're not on recall, um, fruit, canned nuts, anything
Nuts is
anything
a
like
great
that that they
idea.
can eat. We don't know if they can prepare food or not. Mom actually is getting them cereal and little cartons of milk, and then putting a bowl in there so they can have cereal and little
Well, and
plastic
some
spoons.
some of the cereals that you buy, you wouldn't even need the bowl. They have it with a bowl. Like
Yes,
all you
I've
have to do
seen
is
them.
pull the
I've seen
top
them.
off.
Hmm.
Yeah. We have Good Times Homestead with Jen and Steve. Welcome. Sneaking in during Awana. And if I'm correct, that's a children's youth group
Yeah,
program.
children's church kind of thing.
Yeah.
Children's church. 'Cause I've done Awanas before, probably about 10, 15 years ago.
So I think we left off and we were talking about you got the cute little zippy bags. So do you prefer the zippy bags so that they're more waterproof? Is that
Yes.
I saw you
Well,
did
we're
the zip top
we're
so
trying to
they
protect the
look.
toiletry stuff from leaking into the food. So right now we're leaving them separate and we're putting them in at the time. Um, Also, you can ask them, do you want food and or toiletries, and they can answer you what they actually need.
How about like
So
bottled water and stuff like that? Is that
yes, we have bottled water and sodas. Last time we had soda. We do it a little bit different every time, but last time we had bottled water and sodas, and we just asked them what they wanted, and we just handed them that.
that's great.
So we're getting a little more fancy every time we go,
Well,
and you
it's
get a
probably
little
a
bit more.
learning curve.
Yeah, it is, and you get your process down, and you have things left over from last time that you can use for the next time. So
We'll stop and say hello to Ginger at Not for Nothing Homestead. Derek Fowler, 1973. Papa's Kitchen. I think that's everyone. If I missed you saying hello, I'm trying to catch you when you come in, friends. So tell me again, when did you start doing this? I remember watching a
Um,
video when you first
my
announced it on
sister
YouTube.
passed away in October. Um, the first bags we gave away were just from my mom, and we did it actually on Christmas Eve on our way over to do our Christmas Eve celebration.
So right away.
We got about a month in between. We did it, and then I made bags and she made bags. But we've done it together every time. But the first time, all the bags were hers, and then I started getting them ready too. So now we're doing 6 each. So we're reaching about 10 or 11 people every time. Last time we reached 11 people.
That is great.
And we just have our little round that we make around that town because it's a town of about 120,000 people.
Oh, wow.
We have our little rounds. Sometimes they'll be sitting in front of stores, like in a corner or something,
Mhm.
and you can tell they got all their stuff with them. And
When we went to Nashville, we stayed in a hotel, and every day we would walk by an area where homeless were. And you could tell because, all different hours of the night we were coming and going, because sometimes we'd go watch live music. Sometimes we'd be walking, we'd brought our dog with us, and we would walk the dog early in the mornings. And it was those same people, and they were sleeping on cardboard. And you could tell that they were truly homeless. And it was amazing, though, how friendly they were and how they were really pretty clean. There was a library there, and I think that they went into that library when it was cold and they were welcomed there. And there were police that would have their car parked there. And so they weren't bothering people and they weren't causing a problem. Um, so it was kind of surprising to us. I mean, we'd never, like I said, here where we are, there's what's called like tent city and things
yeah,
like that, where we've never been or been around it. But like I said, when we went to Nashville, they were just like in abandoned buildings. You'd see them,
yeah.
just sleeping there.
I watched a lot of videos. I did probably, I don't know if it was somewhere between 2 weeks and a month worth of research, watching videos, trying to figure out what they needed and what their lives were really like. But also, I wanted to know what my sister's life was like. So I kind of wanted to and I learned a lot of stuff from those videos. And if I find somebody I'm comfortable with as I'm handing out bags, I will ask them some questions to kind of get an idea of what kinds of things that they need. So,
Do you think that doing this, because it sounds like you did it right away, like after she passed, it wasn't
yeah,
like a 6 months later deal. It was pretty right
yeah.
away.
2 months after we started, the first month,
Do
you
you
know,
think that this has helped your mom and yourself heal a little, maybe?
I think so because we're helping. The way I see it is we're helping someone else's family member because we couldn't help our own.
Yeah.
So it makes me feel closer to my sister Gretchen to be able to help other people. And both of us had the calling. It wasn't we decided to do it. It's like God
Yeah.
had the whole picture, the whole plan, and He was calling us both at the same time to the same thing.
Uh-huh. That's
She's in her
amazing.
70s and I'm younger than that. And we're both called to the same ministry. If she doesn't feel like getting out, I get out and hand the bags, but she's watching me the whole time, or she might be trying to take a picture on the sly or whatever. So, but one man, I actually asked him if I could take his picture, and he actually agreed to it. So he actually posed for the picture.
That's awesome. That's neat. Now, I'm trying to remember back to our conversation just here a little bit ago. Um, did you say that your sister had a friend and you were able to talk to them and get more information?
Yes, they were calling. The friend was calling the hospital, and the social worker type person at the hospital connected us with that person. And that was actually a person that we saw on her Facebook around Christmas. We found a Facebook of her,
Huh.
and we were told later that was the picture of them right after they got out of the halfway house. And so they weren't homeless right away. It happened, I guess, gradually.
Yeah. So that was probably nice for you to be able to have a person to talk to
Yeah,
and
it
spend a
helped.
little time with. Yeah. It was nice that she was willing to do that, and it made you probably feel a little
Yeah.
better that she had someone.
Yeah, and we
Yeah.
also talked to the Shepherd's Hand was the place that had the food that they could go eat at, I think twice a day. And we talked to them, and they were very fond of her. And she didn't live in the camp with everybody else. I guess she had some problems in the camp, and she actually had special permission to have her tent on someone's private property.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So she was actually living by herself in this tent.
It's probably
We never
safer.
did get to see the tent. We kind of found out some more details once we got home. We also had a pretty lengthy conversation with the cops, who also seemed to be very fond of her as well. So it sounds like she was a decently pleasant homeless person. So she always was a very outgoing type person. So more so than me. So
Well, I'm glad that you're able to do this to help others while yet kind of helping yourselves
yeah,
with.
healing. Yeah, it really it hit mom and me the most, because my younger siblings are several years younger, and so Gretchen and I were really close. We didn't come from a wealthy family, so we actually slept in the same full-size bed for many years. We had the same room, the same bed. We were very close, and it was really, really hard on me. And of course, with my mom, of course, that was her oldest child. So they say losing a child is the hardest thing. And, my mom has struggled with it. And I think this ministry is the only thing that really kind of helped us get through it. And we hope that we're touching others' lives and letting them know that they're one little thing to let them know that they're loved,
Yeah.
out in the world, that they're loved, you
Uh-huh.
know.
Yeah. Do you have any other goals or ambitions for what this ministry might become? Are you going to try to
Yeah.
name it anything after your sister or?
I think I went on Altruistic Farmstead earlier, and she gave me her phone number. So I may talk to her about that. I have considered actually, um, registering it as a full blown ministry.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't fully made that decision. I think after I'll talk to her, I would be able to make a more um, informed decision.
Yeah.
But at this point, we're just doing it on our own.
You could probably still unofficially though name it, like if you wanted to.
Yeah, yeah. Her recommendation was to not put ministry in the title and to not affiliate it with your church because you would
Mhm.
get more grants. That was some of her recommendations that she had. But more than likely, I would probably put my sister's name in it, so it'd be Gretchen something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just can't think of what the second word would be.
Yeah, or something for Gretchen, but it would be nice to have her name in there somehow.
Yeah, I think having her
Yeah.
name in there. She's got a pretty name, so
Cities from Gretchen. I don't know. That doesn't quite
I don't
sound right.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're getting lots more hellos. Mountain Grandma came in.
Hi, Tammy.
We'll soon be wrapping up. We've got about 5 minutes left. I try to keep it to an hour. Is there anything else that you would like to share with everyone? Just how they can contact you would probably be best, maybe through your email or and all that
My
information's
email
on.
is gailsouthernliving@yahoo.com.
Okay.
My P.O. box address is on my about page. Any of your basic gift cards could be helpful. Walmart, Family Dollar, Dollar General, Dollar Tree. Those are all places I purchase at because I live in a small town. So those are really the only stores we have.
Mm-hmm.
I have a PayPal if you put on there for your sister or homeless ministry or something, so I know specifically what it's for. I will make a video of the donation. Just let me know if you want it to be anonymous or not. And I'll try to get my Amazon wish list for the homeless fixed, whatever's wrong with it. And maybe I'll try to test it out.
Yeah.
So, but I did have on there like hats and food and socks and all kinds of stuff. But I'm a salesperson, so if I find a sale, I will stock up on that item.
Yeah, for sure. And right now would probably be a good time to find hats and mittens and things for next
Yes,
year.
yes. They
You
had
have
the black women's socks on sale for $7 at Walmart, so I picked up 4 packs of those for the women. So now next I'll have to do men's socks.
That is awesome. So we have a few name suggestions for you if you'd like to hear. And like I said, you can always go back and see this conversation later. Not for Nothing Homestead says Gretchen's Cause. Suburban Hillbilly said Gretchen's Grace. Papa's Kitchen says Gretchen's Dream or Gretchen's Hope. So you've got a few ideas there that you can
Those
sit
are
on for a
good
little bit.
ones. Those are
Yeah.
really good ones. Yeah,
And
y'all
you've got,
came up with some good stuff.
yeah,
That's
that's
awesome.
sweet.
Yeah,
They
I'm gonna
wanted
go back and rewatch and write all those down. But
Yeah.
and I'll talk to my mom about it too because she is just as much. Like I said, she officially is the one who did the first bags. But the second and third times, I did it too, and we'll probably expand. We may even try to bring them some. I'm considering making homemade cookies and having them in little bags like this. So we might do that for next time. But
That would be
stuff like
fun
that. Maybe
sometimes to
even expand into sandwiches and chip like a sack lunch kind of thing.
Mhm.
Something like that.
I love the idea that you said with like nuts and things because then like a peanut butter is good too, but you
Yeah.
do give them the silverware that they could have stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I love like the Dollar Tree, although sometimes it's not the best deal.
Yeah.
I love their container size. So like I got some Miracle Whip and it was like 1 cup size. And I can imagine they have like the small peanut butters and stuff, which would be nice because the big ones that are the better deal, like your Sam's Club peanut
Yeah.
butter ones, would be way too expensive. But I think that is nice to be able to have the smaller size. Oh, you have another idea. What about Giving by Grace?
Giving back
So
there.
you've got lots of great ideas and support
Yeah.
here from everyone.
Yeah, those are good. I will go back in and write all those down and I'll go back and watch the comments on the replay. I usually do that. I was on Mountain Grandma earlier this week and I actually listened to the whole entire live. And I didn't look at the comments the whole time, but I would go over and look at them periodically and just kind of flip through and see what people are saying. Because I
Yeah.
was on my phone on that one too. So I can click on the comments, but if I do, then I can't see you and me. So that's
Right.
kind of disorienting, kind of confusing for me. So I don't usually mess with it.
Well, guys, thank you so much for all your great suggestions and all your support to Gail. And my suggestion to you is even if you just have a question or some encouraging words that you'd like to share with her, you could send her a card in the mail with, love, but an email costs you nothing. So if you have an idea or a question, I'm sure she would not mind at all to get an email. And if you go to her page, I believe it's on the About tab. If you scroll to the bottom, she has a bunch of information there on how you can get in contact with her. And if you feel so moved to help her with adding items to her bags, that I know I saw her PayPal link on there and maybe some other things. So anyway, I encourage you all to, if your heart leads you that direction, that you, even if it's like I said, you just want to send her a note of encouragement to do so, because you would be surprised how much as a YouTuber we appreciate knowing how much you guys want to be involved in what we're doing and sharing, whether it be a new recipe in the kitchen that you tried or the fact that, maybe you just wanted to say, hey, I'm thinking of you. How are you doing? So
Yeah.
every bit really is so special to us. So I'm sure
Yeah.
Gail will
Thank you for
agree.
being the first one to have me up on your live to talk about it. You're the first one that asked me to do that. So
Well, I appreciate you being so vulnerable because there were a few minutes where I was having a hard time. There were some moments where the
no,
tears were really, I was really trying to hold back there and keep
yeah.
myself composed because that that was a lot for you to get on here publicly and tell
Yeah.
us.
I noticed on the thumbnail you put that I was going to tell the story. And so I kind of like took a deep breath and I was like, okay, you can do this.
I'm just hoping that maybe your story will enlighten people to have a softer heart.
Yeah. Open your heart.
Compassion costs nothing. You know what I mean? Like if you
Yeah.
can't, if you don't feel comfortable with giving someone a gift of money or food or whatever, that is fine. But it costs nothing to smile and wave and say hello. And that means the world, I'm sure, to these people who feel probably ashamed for being where they are and belittled. And so just being friendly is a lot. So
Yeah. I try to just look them in the face and say hello. And then I just ask them, do you want a goodie bag? And then I hand it to them. And
oh,
then
you
it's
have
so cool when you get in the car and they're already digging through the bag and the man's pulling out the spray and he's spraying and the girl's pulling out the coloring book and she's like, oh, a coloring book.
oh,
And
that is great.
she's a grown woman and she's like, oh, a coloring book. Nobody gave me one of those. And they're elderly people. And you're like, oh, how did they end up this way? It just drives
Yeah.
me crazy.
Well, and I had a friend tell me she was taking a psychology class, how important it is to color. And I was like, what? Because your mind focuses on that and nothing else, and you get to just release for a little bit. And so there's something about coloring. So I love that you put that in there.
Yeah.
I want to say one more thing. We've reached our hour. I have a one more comment, and then before I close, and that was from Papa's Kitchen, who just popped in late. He said, "My channel was created in part with my work with the homeless, and I am planning to go back to working with the homeless. Crazy to pop on and hear this." So it's just amazing how God will put us all in certain places at certain times. So
Yeah.
maybe the two of you will make a connection, and you can bounce ideas and thoughts off of
Yeah,
each other
I would
to
love to
someone more
hear
experienced. Yeah,
ideas from people further in the ministry. And I think I'm going to start following Altruistic Homestead closer because I know they do a lot of this type stuff, maybe a little bit different in that they do meals. But we just fill up mom's Bronco or my little car with bags and we just drive around and we have our little thing. And last time I talked to a homeless person, he said, hey, there's a lot over here. And so he kind of gave us an idea of where they hang out during the day. So we have our little places and we've always managed to hand them all out. So
that's great. Well, thanks again for being here, and thanks for everyone. I'm losing a few, but before you all leave, I want to ask you to go over to Big Family Living. Michelle and JJ, they were in here. She was moderating and she was saying hi to everyone, doing a great job. They're coming back to doing their, oh, I forget how they called it, Hump Day something or other. It's a Wednesday night chat. And so go over to their channel and give them a love raid and tell them you're coming from the Inquisitive Farm Wife, and just give them a hi, give them a thumbs up and support them, and just yeah, share out to them. So I'll try to put that in there. I don't have their link set up or anything. I forgot to do that, but I went ahead and put that in there. It's big, or why did I say Big Family Living? That's not it. Oh, why am I Big Valley Living? Let me try that again. Maybe
I
next
haven't
week.
heard of that channel. I have to
Oh,
find them.
Michelle, is this the sleep? Oh, I spelled it wrong. Okay, anyway, you all know. Look it up. Big Valley Living.
Big
And next week, I don't have a planned guest at this time because I don't know what's going to happen. Next week is the when my grandbaby is supposed to arrive. So we have a due date, we have an induction date, and I may be a grandma by next week. So I didn't want to schedule a guest, but if at all possible, I will go live and we will say hello and I will tell you about the experience of becoming a grandma. So, everybody, thank you so much for coming in tonight, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Thank you for having me on. Bye.